You want to be different in 2025,
Yeah.
be a different copywriter. And so learning these different skills is going to help you stand out so much.
Your goal should be like, make myself irreplaceable to this person's business. And
Yeah.
I just realized really quick I needed to have more on a proposal. Like if I was
The right way to get started is you have to think about the right way of looking at copy.
and I think what a lot of people get caught up on is they want to be like great from the start. And the only way to become a good copywriter is to be a bad copywriter first.
Yeah, big concern, and quite a controversial topic, AI.
Yeah.
What do you think about AI? Should everyone learn copywriting?
Then like your whole value to the marketplace is lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
we good?
We're good.
We're good.
Awesome. So how do you feel about emails?
If you're a copywriter in 2025, whether it's me saying it or you, just forget about emails in 2025. Honestly, any copywriter who's going to learn emails, just forget about it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about emails?
I think they've been blown out of proportion, and I
Yeah.
think I've definitely got caught up in that too, of like, oh my gosh, emails are the best, and they are really valuable. You can make a lot of money with
I
emails,
agree.
but if that's the only skill that you have, like you're gonna be capped at probably like $8K a month, and that's great. For some people, that's their dream, but like if that's the only skill you have, that's the only thing you're doing outreach for, you're in competition with like the entire world. Number one, like everyone is doing that.
Literally, if you talk to any because we have the copywriting groups, we can see what's going on, and if you look everywhere, like 99% of people watching this video probably are thinking about emails.
Yeah.
Like
It's just emails.
like yeah.
It's also like, I don't know any business owner that just needs emails. So if they look at you and like you only offer them emails,
Yeah.
and they also need a sales page, and they need a webinar, and they need like
Yeah.
all this other stuff,
Yeah.
then they're gonna try and find someone that can do everything in
Yeah.
one package as opposed
Yeah.
to like splitting it up, because that's just inefficient.
Yeah.
So it's like it's so much easier to like just go apply the principles of emails to everything else.
Yeah.
Learn how to do a VSL,
Yeah.
learn how to do a
Yeah.
sales page, learn how to do like content scripts and ads and stuff, which I definitely want to like chat about ads a bit, because
we'll go
that's
into
where you
that. We'll go
started.
into that.
You didn't start with emails or anything like that.
No, I did not start with emails, actually. I started with ads and writing ads for people. And this is the thing, like, obviously the general copywriting space, or the way we're normally raised by the gurus when you look at them, and they all bring you in with emails. Like, come and learn emails. It's so easy. Anyone can get into it because they're marketing to you that it's so easy that anyone can do it. Because obviously if it was hard, if you said you're going to write a VSL and it's going to take you 2 days and it will literally destroy your brain and you won't get any sleep.
Yep.
If they told you that, you would be like, fuck copywriting. So they get you in with emails, but obviously it's not like emails is bad. Doesn't mean emails is like you shouldn't learn it. Anyone watching this, you should learn it because you can apply that to other things.
Yeah.
But not everyone knows they need it. But also everyone is doing it, like you just said. Basically 99% of people watching this video want to do emails, like you said. But business owners need other things, like you said. With ads, they need VSLs, they need sales pages, they need like school group copy for anything, like social media and stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, when I started, I just started with ads. I didn't actually know emails was a thing until I started like I started seeing like people talking about emails, and then I started off doing ads and stuff. And the thing is, a lot of people would say like, oh, but isn't ads hard? Isn't VSLs hard and sales pages? The truth is, they are hard, but nothing's hard. Any skill you go and learn is going to be hard. But the thing is, it's the most valued. And in 2025, going into 2025, there's a lot of copywriters. A lot of them are going in with emails. So you want to be different in 2025. Be a different copywriter. And so learning these different skills is going to help you stand out so much.
Yeah.
What did you start with?
Yeah, so I mean, I started with like writing a freebie for TED, or like a lead magnet for TED Car, which was that 200-page like FAQ and then book, and that was like hard, but like I like what you said, like everything's hard. It's like everything's relative, and I think I didn't really think emails were valuable at the time, and then I got caught up in like the wave of emails, and to be honest, like a lot of my clients, that is like a big source of sales for them. Like Ted, I think makes 20% of his sales from email.
Yeah, wow.
So it's like, it's significant. But then also like I would get so frustrated when I work with a new client and like they weren't making a lot of sales through email. I'm like, wait, this is like supposed to be your most valuable piece of copy. What's going on?
Yeah.
And I just realized really quick I needed to have more on a proposal. Like if I was sending a proposal to a client, there needs to be more than just emails.
Oh yeah.
Which also became a hack. So I would add all these other things. Even if we just talked about emails, or we just talked about like 2-3 things.
Yeah.
I would add all these other things. I'd add a VSL. I'd add like your school about page graphics, ads, like all these things. I'd be like just throwing these things in there.
Yeah.
And Dude, I upsold one client from 3K to 10K just because he wanted all of the extras that I added to the proposal.
Wow.
It was the biggest client I'd ever had, and I was like, holy crap, this is cool.
That difference is crazy.
Yeah,
wow.
just having those other things in your toolbox that you can help people with.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, like, what was I going to say? When a business owner, like you just said, sees you, majority of business owners are going to get outreached for emails. And when you're going to be like, I'm an email copywriter, like, be specialist, that's cool, be a specialist. But the problem is like, every business owner is also at different stages in their business. Like, I had a client that I've made like around 126K for in like 9 days. But she didn't need emails in the beginning. She had a sales page that was 0% conversions. Yeah. And I was like, she don't need emails. She needs a sales page that's like converting and ads to run traffic to that. And that's what I did for her. Now I do emails for her, but that's not all she needed. Because if I wouldn't have had her as a client if I just said, do you need emails? Right. She's like, do I need emails? I didn't know I needed them. Right.
Like, I'm curious, what was like the biggest changes? Like, was her, when you saw her sales page, what was like the main issues?
Oh my god, so her copy was atrocious. It was like it was at like 0.1% conversions. Like,
that's insane.
And the problem is obviously because the ads were terrible as well. They will not bring in any traffic. It was terrible copy. So I flipped it from 0% all the way into like 43 highest percent, which is like
crazy.
Just below half of the people that are coming in. She's like packing her packed up sales calendar, which is cool.
Yeah.
But like, that made such an impact. Just sales that it was literally a headline. Yeah. It was like, wasn't even 100 words. It was like 20 words.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that made such an impact. And so anyone can learn how to do that as well. And business owners will pay you for that. Like, she was making nothing. And then like we did that, and then she completely like flipped it around. So if you're a copywriter and learning emails, like, just forget about emails.
Yeah.
Just forget about emails.
And the other important thing you said was, like, her ads were also doing bad. So, like, I'm assuming that, like, you helped tweak those as well. Yeah. To, like, make everything. Yeah, because it's, like, the full funnel. Like, people don't just need one part of their funnel fixed. Everything has to flow together. The ads have to make sense. Yeah. The email follow-up after they book a call has to make sense. Like, those things, they all, like, connect. So if you're just doing one of them, you're just kind of, like, trying to fix something with a blindfold on and you can't really see the full picture. Like, it's just really hard. So yeah, I think that's a really, really good point, because it's so hyped up, and I think it's also really easy to teach emails. So that's probably why we hear it from like a lot of the gurus. It's just like, just do emails.
Yeah, like,
because it's the easiest thing to teach.
It's so easy. Like, anyone can learn emails. Like, that is why they say come in, like, learn emails. It's so easy. And like, don't fall for that, because they just want to sell you a biz op. That's all they want to do.
Because can you imagine if they were like, just come learn sales pages? Like, there's so many nuances, there's so many different they can't just teach that. Like, emails, they can give you like, okay, DIC is a template you follow, just do this. And it's like,
oh my god, don't even get me started on templates and frameworks. That is absolute bullshit.
It's I used to like really rely on those. And it's funny now, like, I don't know if it just becomes like muscle memory, but like, there's no template really. I guess they all kind of apply at this point. Like, they're so vague. Like, disrupt, intrigue, and click.
Yeah, what do you think of like the PAS and DIC framework?
I think it's so vague.
Oh
it's 3 words to try and describe an entire email framework.
And the problem is, it like really limits your writing ability. Like, anyone who's trying to learn copywriting, just forget about the frameworks. Yeah. And a lot of beginners will think, well, but it helps me like, you know, get started. It's the root cause of all problems later on for copywriters. Because I experienced it myself. I was watching like the videos on YouTube, and it was like, use the PAS and the DIC framework, and I was like, I don't know what else to write.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I was like, I can only write like one email with like the DIC framework. And I was like, this is so trash. And like, it really didn't help me. It limited my writing ability. Like you said, it really limits you.
Yeah, like, it's just like, it's like kind of trying to apply. I feel like it's the same concept as like the things they would give us in school and like English class, with like really strict, like, you got to use this kind of word, this intro, this closing. Like, it's just, the whole point of being a copywriter is being creative. Like, being able to just like focus your creativity on that like one thing that the business owner doesn't have the time or energy to do. And so if you're limiting your creativity, this same thing goes for AI. It just eliminates creativity. then like your whole value to the marketplace is lost.
Yeah.
So like that's the whole point of you being there, is that you're going to be creative, and you're going to like, you're probably still going to cover all of those things within the DIC format. You're probably going to have a hook that disrupts their day and like gets them to stop scrolling. You're going to have some type of like intriguing statement, otherwise no one's reading your stuff. And you're going to have them take some kind of action, click something at the end, probably, otherwise, you know, why were you writing to them? So like it's just so obvious that it's almost like, why are they teaching that? It's hilarious. But yeah, I think it's like there's so many people trying to just kind of like monetize something and like kind of turn it into this like course, which like it's great that like people are teaching it, but it's like when you try and take something that's so nuanced and teach it to like one to many, I think you create frameworks that like just don't need to be there. And sometimes don't really exist. Which is also like contradictory, because obviously both of us make content. And you want to teach that stuff. But the best way to teach that stuff is like a lot of like your videos, like you show people you actually writing, where you go through and you teach the principles behind it. But you're not confining them to like this box of a framework.
Because actually I was going to add about like, if you actually want to stand out from all the copywriters, like literally 99% of the new copywriters, bear in mind, I don't even know how many copywriters there are. There's millions, like a lot. Untold. Like, I've just come into the space and I've just realized how many there are. If you want to get ahead of like most of them, don't just rely on AI, which we'll get into in a minute. Don't just rely on AI. Don't just rely on templates, and don't just rely on frameworks and all that stuff, because majority of copywriters will end up thinking the same, writing the same, sounding the same, and getting the same results. And so if you want to be different, we have to be different copywriters. And like you said about you'll be more highly valued if you don't do stuff like that. And so well, so I was gonna add something about the frameworks and stuff. Like you said, it really limits you. Like even if you are a beginner and you want to get started, like the right way to get started is you have to think about the right way of looking at copy. And so not like frameworks and templates. But,
I think the best thing probably, like if you're totally new and you're like, how do I even start? It's like just go and study people that are doing what you want to do.
Yeah, that's what I did.
That applies to everything in life too, like with school as well. Like that's exactly what I did. I just studied people that had communities that like I wanted. And like with copywriting, like you can go onto swipe.co, or you can just literally subscribe to a couple newsletters. It's that easy.
Like there's so much good copy out. Like that's why I made that video on it, and it's so powerful. Like all of that copy that's really good is literally free out there. It's all
public.
It's all public, and you can just go and break it down. Obviously, it's like you've got to know what to look for and stuff like that. But that's an easy way to like get into the game and actually start learning it. But let's say, because I know a lot of people on here are probably thinking like, what's the easiest like copywriting thing to start with? What would you say to that?
The easiest actual deliverable to give a client?
Any copy, like, because if not learn emails, then what should I? Or should they even like, is that even a question?
I think you need to learn like copywriting principles and be able to apply it to like everything. And neither of us got started in emails. Both of us probably write emails. So I think it's less about like what you get started with and more just about like how you actually write. So I would start by just writing sales pages, writing emails, writing ads, writing social posts, writing scripts, writing VSLs, like do everything, test it out. And like ultimately you're only going to be able to charge a premium if you have like a unique angle. And so like
emails don't give you a unique angle.
They don't
even
give you
if you are the best email.
Even if you're the best, like it's just like you have to be able to set yourself apart. And I think what a lot of people get caught up on is they want to be like great from the start. And the only way to become a good copywriter is to be a bad copywriter first. So like if you're not willing to be bad, like I'm sorry, you're never gonna make it. And I think that's like that's one thing that didn't apply to me. Like I was just like, I knew I was bad. I was really bad. Like I remember my first client literally, he was like, let's get on Zoom and let's look at this. And he's just deleting my stuff on the Zoom call, like silently rewriting everything.
That's so
and I'm just
painful.
Sitting there like,
like, no.
But like I was fine with it because I also knew that like I wasn't good. Like and I spent like at that point I'd spent at least 24 hours. Like I was working like every single day. I think I wrote him like the first draft or like the first chapter or something. And like I put a lot of time into it. And you have to be willing to do that. You have to be willing to rewrite it. You have to be willing to get feedback, whether it's like you're paying a coach, or you're just getting feedback from other entrepreneurs or people online, or like there's so many ways you can get feedback. We can get feedback from you. It's like
literally, it's that easy.
You don't have to go invest like $20,000 to like go get some copywriting coach. Like so I think just like writing everything, because copywriting, it's the same principles. It doesn't matter what medium you're writing in, like a sales page, an email, an ad, a script, like everything. The goal is to relate to a reader, keep them entertained, or keep them interested, and then get them to take action at the end. That's it.
Yeah, I was going to say something on the topic of, should everyone learn copywriting? I think no. Anyone can learn it. Like, anyone can learn it. Like, anyone can get into it because it's so easy. Like, you just got to have a laptop, literally a brain, like speak English and like be able to write words. But the thing is, the reason why I think it's not for everyone, even though anyone can get into it, is like not everyone's willing to do what you just said. Like, not willing to sit there and learn. But the thing is as well, like, even if you weren't doing copywriting, even if you went and did SMMA, even if you went and did drop shipping, because we've both done all of that stuff, like, they're all hard. They're all hard. You just have to pick your hard. Nothing's easy. Anyone who tells you like anything's easy, it's a lie. Because you have to put in, it's like work. Like you said about, you started off like you sucked, and then you got good. Now you've generated like thousands, hundreds of thousands for your clients with copy. So those who will like survive and thrive in 2025 with copywriting is those who are willing to actually put in the work, and that's like the honest truth. On another topic though, I think this is a really big question, a big concern, and quite a controversial topic in the copywriting space is AI. What do you think about AI?
AI is like such a great tool. It's like the internet. It's like if you were an entrepreneur in the 1990s and you saw the internet come out and you were one of those entrepreneurs that was like, oh, this is a phase, this is going to go away, or oh, this is like, this is just a threat, and you didn't use it, then you would be like one of those mom and pop shops that's getting left behind. And so it's the same thing with AI. Like, if you don't figure out how to use it, you will be left behind. But it's also not a threat if you're halfway decent. Like, AI is going to be a massive threat to anyone that is writing AI level copy.
It's a threat to people using it.
It's a threat to the people using it, literally. And people that just like are not willing to put that work in that we talked about and like get good at it. Because if you're not willing to get good, then AI can probably replicate your copy in the click of a button and nobody needs you. But if you're good at copywriting, it makes you even more valuable. Like I was telling you, I have clients who are literally in the AI business developing AI softwares, and they hire me to write their copy because I write it better. And because like they need someone that can relate to their audience.
Imagine that.
AI can't relate. So yeah, like AI, from what I've seen, is really, really good at outlining stuff. I have AI integrated into a lot of different aspects of my business because it just streamlines stuff. It streamlines like outlining, like research. It helps you with a lot of stuff like that. But if you start to use it to actually write your copy for you,
that's game over.
Oh my gosh.
Actual like game over, because if as a copywriter, even if you're not a copywriter, even if you're like the audience you're writing to, they can smell it. Like they can smell it. It's there. Like they know you're using AI. Like you said, AI is not like a tool to be used to write from scratch. It's like a tool to improve, to guide you, to outline you, market research as well. But I was also going to say, like, a lot of people are thinking like, why don't business owners just use ChatGPT? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, because I think they read it and they're like, well, nobody's gonna buy from this.
No, like what Sabri says, it cannot sell a lollipop to a 5-year-old. Like, it's that bad.
But there's so many great use cases for it. I think people are just using it for the wrong things. And like, it's interesting. Like this is a great use case. So I hired a data guy to go and get every transcript from every piece of content Max Pearson had ever created. And he fed it into ChatGPT. And basically now I can go and I can ask that bot, like, about any time Max has mentioned the word school or anytime he's mentioned the word YouTube. And I can go and I can find it, and it just sends me verbatim quotes by Max. It's not creating copy or anything like that, but it's so useful. Instead of me trying to go through his YouTube videos, through his content, now I just have this streamlined process.
Yeah, it's really helpful for that.
That's the kind of tools that like you use to like make your business more efficient, and you don't use it to replace like the one thing that gives you a slight edge, which is your creativity. Like that. As a copywriter, this is what a lot of copywriters think, and it's not their fault, because
we only know what we know, but a lot of them get into it and they're like, I have to just write words and they'll pay me. Like that's the overall gist of it, but that's not really it, because like as a copywriter, it's like I don't know how to put it, but that is like the lifeblood of someone's business. Like they make money from your words. Like if you're just going to write copy and give them words, you're not even a copywriter. Like you're just a writer. You're practically useless to a business owner. So like you said, you have to be creative. And I know like not a lot of people are creative. Like I never used to. Like even though I do a lot of art, I used to hate writing. Like, you said you used to hate copywriting.
Yeah.
But like,
wait, that's crazy. You used to hate writing.
Yeah,
Same.
like, genuinely, when I was in school, it's just like, fuck this. English language, like,
oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, I don't even know, but now I have like a love for it. But you don't have to have like a weird passion like we do. Like, you don't have to love it so much. Like, you would die for it, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be that creative. You just have to understand, like, it's not about the words. It's about, like you said, can you connect?
Yeah.
Like, as a copywriter, I think these gurus are raising you wrong. Like, they are literally raising us wrong. And they teach you to think about words. And it's, like you might know, it's not about the words really. It's about how you can connect with someone. It's about how the people read it. Because, like, right now we're talking, you're not looking into every single word we're saying. People watching this are thinking about, like, what it means to them.
Yeah,
so, like you said about, you have to focus on what it means to someone. And I think if you're starting off with copywriting, don't focus on the words. It's what are you communicating with your words.
Yeah.
But I think that's like the basics of copywriting, I guess.
100%. It's like, like what you're saying, it's like most people think like their job is to write words, but like your job is to make sales.
Yes.
Your job is to make your client money.
Yeah.
And more money than they're paying you. Like, I like to look at it as like minimum my words have to make my client a 5x return on like what they've invested into me.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of flips the script because then you can really get creative and like, what is the most efficient? Maybe there's a gap. Maybe they're paying you to write emails, but like if you just tweaked one other thing with their ads or added one step to their funnel or removed a step. Yeah, like you have to have that big picture.
Yeah.
If you really want to be invaluable to a like creator, and like that's your goal should be like make myself irreplaceable to this person's business. Yeah. Become so integrated, so valuable. So like I have like regular check-ins or like regular things scheduled in my calendar to go and find something else that I can give to my clients that they have not asked for, that is not in the scope, that I can just even if it's just like I'll send like a YouTube video to a client and be like, hey, you should make a video like this because this would crush. And like I'll just send them things like that because like my job is just to make their business grow faster. And if I'm doing that, then I know they're going to continue to pay me.
That's it.
And like the medium might change. They may decide we're going to shut down emails. We're just going to do ads. Well, if you don't have the skill of doing ads, all of a sudden you're gone.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing I want like you, as you just said, like you cannot just have emails because you will, like if they said tomorrow, I don't want to do emails, you're gone. And they're going to get someone who can do the ads. And so I know it sounds hard, but like I said, copywriting's not for everyone. If you like, you can make a lot of money doing copywriting for someone's business. Like you said, someone just paid you like $8,000 for something like that's not small, but something that has such a big impact. And the words you say have a big impact. But what I'm trying to say is being an all-rounder, obviously, like you don't want to be generalist, but you want to know how to, for example, if they want to grow school groups or something, like it's not just words that you have to know. Like you said, you have to know, I guess, the systems, maybe like the back end stuff. Like it's not just the words, because like you said, if the ads are broken, if the landing page is broken, the emails aren't going to work. Yeah. Because there's no leads coming in. I know that's a bit advanced, but copywriters, what I'm saying is there's more deeper thinking into copy than just words. So yeah, basically.
Yeah, and I think it's also like what you were talking about, like trying like a lot of different things. Like that's kind of a requirement to figure out what is the thing that you want to go all in on. Like if I was just doing copywriting for one type of niche or one type of business, I never would have like gone all in on school, which is now where like my whole brand is. And like if you do a bunch of different things, you work for a bunch of different people, you don't just pick one niche, you don't just pick one type of copy. That's what's going to allow you to really find what it is that you're good at and build a brand around that. You're probably never going to build a brand just around one type of copy. Yeah. Like you're probably always going to have a couple different things in your toolbox, but like you might have a niche or you might have a platform. Like I just work with people on school, and I have people that come to me with businesses outside of school that already have full-time copywriters, and they just ask me to like basically write with their copywriter on school because it's like a different angle. It's a different kind of copywriting.
Because everyone has their own perspectives with copywriting. But I was also going to say on the topic of the toolbox, right? This is a good thing for copywriters, especially going into 2025. Like ditch the people who are doing emails, just forget about that. But the thing is, as well, is, what was I going to say? It's, you're an all-rounder, which means they'll need you no matter what, like for everything. Yeah. I actually forgot what I was going to say. Yeah. No, but it's true. Like, and like you do have like a niche skill in the sense that like you know how to sell through words. Yeah. That's as niche as you need to be. That's it. And then like people should be able to come to you, whether it's for like branding, whether it's for offer creation, whether it's for their website, or even just like I had a client come to me and she just wants like help with like launching a new business, just strategy. I was like, so what do you need? Like, do you need copy? She was like, no, I want your strategy and like I want to give you equity in exchange for strategy. And I was like,
so vague, but like, okay, cool, like let's do it. But like that's the thing that happens when your toolbox is like well-rounded and your skill set is well-rounded. You're able to do a lot more than just
but that's a good thing for copywriters, because it doesn't just mean you have to limit yourself. You can do other things. And so it's okay. Like, a lot of people are going to think, well, if not emails, then what should I learn? Everything. Like, not everything, but just learn the toolbox. Have stuff in your toolbox. Like, you can write VSLs, you can write landing pages, and I don't think a lot of people know that copywriting is not just emails. It's also like, copywriting is everything. Like,
it's YouTube, any type of written sales.
Anything that's written that makes like some sort of like result that converts at least something. Like, for example, I wrote something as simple as like a headline, but that took all of that traffic, converted it, and it's packing like my clients' sales calendars just from a few words. But so obviously, it's copy is so simple. But like I said, it's not just one thing. Like, it's everything as well, which is good. But that's like, the copywriters who know that will get ahead in 2025. Because the ones who don't will just be left behind with emails and just saying stuff.
That's the only thing they add then. So okay, final couple seconds. You just started a community recently.
I have.
Where can people find you?
If you go to the link in the description, there is a link to join Copy Academy. It just shows you, like, if you're a beginner, even if you're not a beginner, you can learn copywriting the right way. But yeah, we've got like over 1,600 people in the group.
And you focus on the skill of writing, which is really cool. It's not about like finding clients so much as it is just getting really good with the skill.
And where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram, Patrice A. Moore, and then I have a free community. Link that below. But yeah, I think for freelancers, you're the one to go to. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you as well.
This was awesome.